Welcome to our sailboat Tigerlilly. This is Colby, I'm Mariah, and these are our two cats Namiria and Took. We're headed to California to prep for our adventures in Mexico. We hope you follow along and enjoy. It is sunset here on the water. It's really pretty and it has been a gorgeous day. We didn't get to sail much because the wind just died.
Yeah, it was supposed to be windy enough to sail here, and technically maybe we could, but we'd only be going like 2 knots maybe.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it.
So it's like, well, we'll just keep motoring, and if the wind picks up tonight, maybe I'll set some more sail out, and we'll just see. It's supposed to get windier the closer we get to Morro Bay, but we'll see.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just out here. It's getting a little cooler now. I think it's like 7 o'clock, so there's that. But we're like swarmed with gnats right now. I think there's like gnats on the water or something. They're like everywhere. But Nims is living his best life out here. Look at little Ham. Anyways, we're enjoying the weather while we can, enjoying the really pretty sunset. And Colby's about to go in and I'm about to take watch, which is kind of really simple now that we have Cletus. Good old Cletus.
It's warm enough out here where I think I'm gonna put on a sweatshirt. But I just may sleep out here while Mariah's on watch.
I mean, I have a sweater on, but like, yeah, it actually feels really good out here. It's so nice. I can't even tell you. Anyways, here's the sunset for you to enjoy.
It is currently just past 11 p.m. and it is my watch now, and I'll be here until 2 a.m. So far so good. The wind has not picked up, so we're still motoring. There's one last project that we need to do, or that I need to do when we get to Los Angeles, and it has to do with the mast. Now, I'll give you some backstory. 3 years ago, I replaced the mast. The original mast was a wood mast, and I would have loved to kept it, but it kept rotting out on the bottom, and no matter how many times I fixed it, it always came back. And I know some of you would say that, well, if you fixed the leak where the water was coming in, then you wouldn't have rotting problems, and you are correct, that would have fixed it. But at that point, there was so much rot damage on the base of the mast that I had a hard time trusting it, right? Especially if I was going to eventually do an offshore passage. I made the decision to replace the mast, and I found a used aluminum mast that was still in pretty good condition. And I re-rigged it all myself and put it all back up and put on the boat, and it's actually been working great this entire time. The only issue is that it is slightly inverted, meaning that the mast kind of bows inward when it should bow outward. At least most masts kind of do, or just be perfectly straight. I want it perfectly straight. So I have been thinking about how I'm going to do that. This has been on my mind for like a couple of years, and I never really figured out how I was going to do it, because I thought maybe it was just I have to retune the rigging, and I've done that a bunch of times and still could not get it fixed. And it just so happened that we were at Monterey, and I finally got a look at it, like a real good look at it from far away on the dock, because we were on an end tie. And looking at it from far away, I could tell that the spreaders were pushing the shrouds forward and therefore making the mast inverted. So when I get to LA, I'm going to have to take off the spreaders and rework them so they don't push the shrouds forward. But yeah, we are roughly about halfway to our destination. The boat slowed down quite a bit. We're only making 4.9 to 5, maximum 5.5 knots. Cletus is steering us good, and I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Good morning. It is currently 3:45 in the morning, and we are coming up onto Morro Bay. Should get in there around 6. And if you're wondering why I'm still driving at 3:40 in the morning, Mariah, well, as you can tell, we've been at the dock at Monterey for the past 2 weeks, and this first night out is making her a bit queasy, which is fine. I was kind of expecting it to happen. That's what happens when you stay still for too long. And anyway, I'm driving through the night, kind of. I mean, she took the first watch, so it's not like last time where I drove all night. I mean, I've only been driving since 11, so the sun should be up here around 6, and yeah, hopefully I'll give you an update when we get to Morro Bay. Well, it is now just before 7 a.m. I got the report from the Coast Guard, and the bar looks okay. It is a little bit windy and choppy, but you can kind of see over at, I don't know why I want to call it Seal Rock, but at the entrance, it looks like it kind of gets a little more protected. And Dams came out to join me, and he wanted some pets, so yeah, we're getting there. And now we're both safe with life jackets on. Both of us. Life jackets. Safety first, huh? Good evening. I haven't filmed much since coming to port, mainly because I've been up most of the night and it was pass out time for me. I got a little bit of sleep, but today has been hot. I think I got up in the 90s today, and Mariah and I both were just kind of beat. We went out for breakfast this morning with the couple from Pacific Rim, which was a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful anchorage, you know. Everyone's anchored, there's sailboats going around, there's seals playing right next to us, as you can hear. But I just kind of got up a little bit just to come check on the cats because they've been out and about. Yeah, we still plan on leaving tomorrow morning for Coho Anchorage at Point Conception. Good morning. I don't even know what the date is, 6th, 7th, somewhere around there. It is, we're in Morro Bay, about to weigh anchor. I just started the engine and kind of getting things warmed up, and we'll be leaving here for Coho Anchorage. We were supposed to leave at 5 a.m., but I set alarm for 4:30. Woke up, turned it off, and promptly went back to sleep, and now it's 5:20, so we're leaving a little bit later than I wanted to, but that's okay. Good morning now that you can actually see us. It's a little... Well, it's funny how different we are because I'm in just t-shirts and she's freezing. It's like it's a little cold, but I know it's gonna warm up, so I'm not gonna take the trouble of putting on a jacket. But we just left Morro Bay. You can kind of maybe see it back there, probably not, but we just left maybe about a half hour ago. And we will be rounding Point Conception Day and staying at a place that I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's Coho Anchorage, spelled C-O-J-O. And it's just past Point Conception. We're gonna spend a night there and then kind of hop our way towards Marina Del Rey, where we're gonna meet some friends and do some boat projects. So far, the weather out here is a little bit of a marine layer. The waves are smooth. Currently, the wind is coming from the south, which is not ideal for the Coho Anchorage, but it's supposed to change before we even get there. It's supposed to change in a few hours, actually. So as predicted, the swells are coming from the north, which is great, and there's not much swell at all. The waves are not big, but the wind is coming from the south, and it's kind of doing a weird vortex thing. Kind of, if further off the coast, the wind is coming from the north, but then right near the coast, it's coming from the south. So, and us being near the coast right now, we're kind of beating into the wind a little bit, just motoring. But it's kind of making the waves a little choppy, and it's not uncomfortable. It's just every once in a while you might get a mist in your face. But anyway, besides that, it's okay. We're about 5 to 6 hours away.
We are approaching Point Conception. I think it's right here somewhere. And apparently, Point Conception is also known as what, the Cape Horn of
the West Coast.
Of the West Coast. So that's pretty interesting. So we will be on anchor at Coho or Kojo, however you say it, until tomorrow, and then we are moving to Smuggler's Cove, I believe.
I don't even know what time it is, 5:45 or 6, somewhere around there. And we are anchored and set here in Coho Anchorage. And it's a little rolly. I mean, it's open to the ocean, so what do you really expect? But we're set. We've got our friends Archer, who they were in Nia Bay with us for a little while, and they have 2 cats on board also. Sorry, that boat right there. And yeah, it's a, from here, we're talking about going to Smuggler's Cove, but we haven't sailed all that much. We've been motoring, right? Which means we're using fuel. If we go to Smuggler's Cove, that's another 10 hours to Smuggler's Cove, and then 12 hour Smuggler's Cove, and 12 hours to LA kind of thing. And you're like, okay, well that uses 36 gallons of fuel and all this stuff, and it would be fun, and I don't really want to sail too much with the mast the way it is until I fix it. So I think we're gonna go with our original plan and go to Santa Barbara after this and just spend one night there. So we ran a Point Conception yesterday, and we got to Coho Anchorage at around, oh, I don't know, it was around 6 o'clock. And the swells were coming from the west as predicted. They were small, but still swells. And anchored in that anchorage, it was pretty rolly. And if we had rocker stoppers that we're gonna pick up in LA, but if we had those, it probably would have been just fine. But it was rolling enough that Mariah and I really only got maybe 3 or 4 hours of good sleep. I woke up at 1 o'clock to one abnormally larger wave, and I couldn't go back to sleep after that. So we decided to weigh anchor and get going. And yeah, so we left the anchorage at 2:30 a.m. and it's now 4 a.m. We're headed to Santa Barbara. We're still on our way to Santa Barbara, a little bit more than halfway there, but it's finally daylight-ish, right? Sun is rising. I don't think it's actually risen yet, but at least I can see stuff now. That's always fun. It's a little bit foggy and chilly this morning. Come on, SoCal. What are you doing? I'm supposed to be warm. But I figured since I have a little bit of time right now, I'm gonna replace the leader line on our fishing lure because the cats really like the line for some reason and kind of chewed at it. So I'm just gonna sit here and replace it real quick.
Good sunny morning from a different anchorage than the one that we left you at last night. We left about 3 a.m. to come to Santa Barbara. So far, we've only been here for like an hour. Is much better than the one that we were at last night. Neither of us slept. I think we both tried to go to sleep like right after we ate dinner, and it was like it would be calm for just a second and then all of a sudden just boom, boom. So yeah, we woke up at 3 a.m. and we were both like, you know, let's just leave. Santa Barbara was only 4 hours away, so that's where we are.
Good morning. It is roughly 4 a.m. in Santa Barbara, and we're about ready to start the engine, weigh anchor, and head on to Los Angeles. I probably would have slept in till 5, except this anchorage got really rolly and woke both of us up and couldn't go back to sleep really. Yeah, I'm just kind of getting ready to go, and we'll show you what's on the way. Alright, we're just about to come into Marina Del Rey. You can see Santa Monica and the LA coast right here. The sun finally came out, which is nice. And yeah, we'll go grab some fuel, get a dock, make some pizza.